Okay, just tell me what happened.
So there was a guy sitting on a bench downtown, and he was kind of leaning back, looked like he was falling asleep. And so I didn't think anything of it because it was downtown, so maybe a transient. But this other guy walked by, and he kind of shook the old man's shoulder and was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And the guy sat up and was doing like a weird stare, like didn't know what was going on. So I went over there and I was like trying to ask him his name. I was like, "Hi, my name's Candice, what's yours?" And he just wasn't responding at all. So the guy was like kind of freaking out a little bit, and I was like, "Should probably go and call an ambulance, right?" So the guy went into another building, got a security officer to call an ambulance, and then came back outside, and I was trying to figure out, was he taking any medication, stuff like that, all the prerequisite questions, and he wasn't responding still. And then he kind of like fell back a little bit, and then just fell all the way forward, and me and the other guy caught him. And pulled him like back up on the bench, and I was kind of freaking out. I tried to take his pulse or whatever, and like I could still feel a little bit of a pulse, but he wasn't breathing at all because I kind of leaned down and he wasn't breathing. So I was a little freaked out, and I had like a moment of panic, like the little face mask in the gloves that just has a Velcro thing, and I all of a sudden couldn't remember how to open up a Velcro thing, but I ended up getting everything out and putting the face mask on. And I did like a couple of breaths and chest compressions, 30 chest compressions, and he still wasn't breathing, so I did a couple more breaths, and about that time the ambulance showed up, and they got out and they did the AED right there on the sidewalk on the street, and he like kind of opened up his eyes and took a breath, and I was like, "Oh yes," so it was kind of exciting. And then the paramedics, like took my name and everything, and loaded him up in the ambulance, and about that time my bus came, so I was like, "Okay, bye," and got on a bus. But it was exciting and scary, and I never want to do it again, but it was amazing to get a chance to do it. So and it was like only 2 weeks after my class too, so it was nerve-wracking and scary, and I couldn't remember how to put my hands right, and it was just nervous. I was nervous, but other than that it was good. And that was today, right before I came into work too, so I'm still a little shaky. But